So as we know, the Irish media, I wouldn't even call them a media, the mainstream media in this country. They're far beyond it. The Banana Republic had better media. Um, Banana Republics in the Central Americans had better newspapers and better media. Um, but the thing is, and this is the thing that questions need to be asked about, you know, about everything that's happened over the last year, but particularly now when the media are full on just like, let's shut down the country again, let's run the economy into the ground, run people's lives into the ground, all for the sake of COVID and X, Y, and Z. And you think in the media, no OT in the West haven't got their head around how 90% of the population is vaccinated. And they said beforehand, we were told the cowardice was in front of us, and said if you take the jab, we won't have any lockdowns and everything. Everybody can go and jump around the fields and everybody be dandy. And that's what they promised us when we took the jab. They had the coward in front of us and waving us down the garden path. And we get our freedom back and everything, and we'll be able to do our only thing without having to worry and be fear-mongered 24/7 in the media. But the media have done a U-turn all of a sudden now. They're like, let's shut the country down, the numbers are rising. Not even a common sense in asking, how is the numbers rising? 90% vaccination. Because again, the media for a long time didn't report that even though you took the jab, you could get COVID. It doesn't stop you from getting COVID, it doesn't stop you from spreading it, which really makes it redundant if you ask me. It might stop people getting sick, but let's just say 300,000 people in this country are not vaccinated. Compare that to Germany, but there's about 10 million in Germany just utterly saying no to it. And in Germany, they can't really do much. In Germany, they can't really do much because that's a lot of people. They can't order 10 million people. Again, 300,000, they're like, oh my god, it's breaking the health service over here. It's overwhelming everything. Even though, like 300,000 and there may be 200,000, maybe we say 500,000, give or take. 500,000 would maybe one dose and not vaccinated, whatever. That's still not a big. Again, this is the thing in the media, and especially news talk. Excuse me. Especially news talk. Like if you look at news talk now, Pat Kenny, like he's the biggest. Like honestly, news talk must be going to take over OT and the government propaganda station number one. Because News Talk is doing a very good job. They're not asking any hard questions. They're basically there for just to jolly the politicians and the doctors on it. They're just there for jolly. Like Leo was there the other day basically saying, oh, we're going to lock down the country again. We don't give a fuck about anybody. When the election comes around, that's the only time we're ever going to give a fuck about you. More or less saying, I couldn't care less. I'm going to keep the fear mongering going. We want people to be scared. We want people to freeze to death in their houses. We don't want people having oil in their houses or having the heat on this Christmas. We want people to suffer terribly. That's more or less what Leo was saying. And Pat Kenny just sitting there and not asking them one hard question about, please explain how Ireland has one of the highest vaccination uptake rates in the world, really, and how the cases are going up. It doesn't make any sense, and no trees nowhere to be found. But we have Luke O'Neill, don't worry, the country is safe. Luke O'Neill is on the airwaves 24 hours days. Again, the Nutty Professor, there used to be a movie, Nutty Professor. I think they should bring that back and put Luke O'Neill as the Nutty Professor. I think that could be a good career choice for him. He suit them in Hollywood. Not here, we don't want them here, get rid of him. Like he's, honestly, you think he just wants to lock down the country and just keep the country locked down. Like, again, who is he? Who asked him? Who wants them to talk? I wouldn't mind Dr. Tony Houlihan. He's over in effort in the West that. Maybe you could say, maybe, possibly. But who's the Luke O'Neill? Who was he? He's not the chief medical officer. Where did the go? Like, again, he's the government's poster boy for COVID and anything to do with COVID. Like, News Talk has an obsession with bringing him on every week and asking him something. Even though Luke O'Neill, I don't think he's in his lab in Trinity. He doesn't have a fucking clue. Dr. Tony Houlihan in the West maybe might have a bit of a clue what's happening. Well, they do know what's happening, but. And again, another thing too, Nevitt's supposed to be got rid of. Apparently that's forgot about. We want to keep Nevitt. We don't want to get rid of them. They're so precious to our country now that we just don't want to get rid of them. It's as I say many times before, it's a great country. There's no other word about it. But again, the Irish media, I don't even, again, media, using the word media, I don't even think they deserve the title of media. Some of them do. Some of them doing some of them asking questions. But again, they should be asking the TVs and senators and public health professionals questions. And why so many people took the jab and were promised that 22nd of October would be freedom and basically everybody could do whatever they want and nothing could stop them. And then they turn around and fear-mongering. Again, it's fear-mongering. And again, there's still fear-mongering on the news about, you have to be careful even though you took the jab and you're supposed to be safe and it's supposed to bring you back to normal after the X, Y and Z. It's propaganda 2.0, like the Soviet Union. Like, we're going back to the Soviet Union, to be totally honest. The NKVD will be soon in the country going around after people who just don't like anything. Who just disagree. But again, it's about using your head here. It's about really just using your head here and ask you questions. Because again, OT, social media, news talk especially, they just couldn't be fucking bothered to ask anybody any hard questions. And then if somebody like me came on and asked a reasonable question, we'd probably be shouted as far-right extremist, terrorist, X, Y and Z. That's what we'd be shouted at. If I went on to news talk in the morning, they'd be shouting me down like, you're a disgrace to this country, you're X, Y and Z. And then asking a perfectly reasonable question about, please explain this. And please explain other things, why the airports are still open and things like that, and you say the disease is coming into the country. Please explain, why did they never close them down? Again, there's no logic. Where's the logic? And then saying about €9 meals and things like that in the pubs. Like, where is the logic? Who was the bite spark that came up with that? Please explain. How would they be able to explain that in news talk? About which bite spark and Fine Gael said that would be a good idea. Or whatever they had in the quiz. Like, again, all the nutty professors, to be totally honest with you. Yeah, but anyway, let me know what you think. Subscribe for more, and bye.